All right, welcome to the Start Sit Show that we do either on Mondays or Tuesdays. Most of the time it's on Mondays, and most of the time it's live. But this week, I guess Google Cloud is down and they won't let us live stream it. So we're just going to pre-record it.
That's what you're going with.
That's what the internet told me. So we're going to pre-record it and upload it, so you'll see it today. Sorry we couldn't be live, but we're still doing the show.
I just want to say that's completely on Jared.
It might be.
In case anybody was wondering.
We got Josiah with
Google
us,
Cloud issues,
and we got
definitely
Matt
Jared.
with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep. All right. So this week we're going to start off with talking about a few players we like this week, and then we'll follow into waiver wire, and then probably buy low
I guess
again.
My camera's over here, huh?
Yep. So Josiah, who's the first guy you want to talk about today?
I think the most important guy to talk about this week after the games is A.J. Dillon.
Yes.
He went from a guy who is on your bench / waiver wire to locked into your lineup every week. At this point, with Aaron Jones down, we don't know how long it's going to be, but it's at least a couple weeks. A.J. Dillon's possibly a top 5 running back, but definitely top 10 in my mind.
I just claimed him off my waiver wire based on your advice, pre-show advice.
Yep.
So
Nice.
I like that. I like that one.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, we were talking about
what is the Aaron Jones injury officially?
It says here that Dillon's expected to play at least 1 or 2 weeks. Aaron Jones has an MCL sprain. So I feel like it's going to be longer than 1 to 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens. But what were you saying, Josiah?
I was saying a couple weeks ago we were talking about who is the next closest Derrick Henry type running back.
Yeah.
The answer is A.J. Dillon. He's the next closest Derrick Henry type running back, and now he's going to get the workload to show if he can do Derrick Henry things. But he is as athletic and as big as Derrick Henry is. He's the only other guy in the league.
I think, he's 6'2" or something?
Yeah, he's like 6'2", 250. That's Derrick Henry.
That's Derrick Henry.
And there's no one else in the league that's like more than 230 as a running back.
Stomped out big games at Boston College.
Yeah,
I
he's a
expected
stud.
big things coming out of Boston College from him, and was a little disappointed that he got buried in a committee situation, because I think if he ended up with the right team, he'd probably be a feature back by now.
I think so too.
And he'll get his chance. We'll find out. We already saw last week.
I stashed him in our money league from the beginning of the season. Never let him go.
You also drafted him in the Dynasty League, held him for a couple of years, and you'll reap those rewards as well.
Yep. I feel like, he's definitely, as long as Aaron Jones is out, he's definitely one of my favorite running backs pretty much every week. From here on out until Aaron Jones comes back, I even feel like if he really kills it while Aaron Jones is gone, they might try to ship him out.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Aaron Jones's contract is pretty releasable next year if they feel like they want to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
I approve. If he's available in your league, he's 58% owned across ESPN leagues. If he is available, I'd say he's the number 1 waiver wire pickup this week, and that is A.J. Dillon for Green Bay. All right, next we got Stevenson for New England Patriots, right?
Yeah, well, how about Ramondre Stevenson? He was a stud this week. He got his
Thursday
chance
night
to shine
game
as well.
guy, by the way, too, guys.
What'd you say?
He's playing on Thursday night, just to put that out there.
Yeah, they
Stevenson
play
is?
Thursday
Okay.
night, which might just increase the chance that Damian Harris misses again.
It's a great matchup.
So, yeah, if you got Stevenson last week, throw him into your lineup again this week. But if not, he's a hot waiver wire guy to get as well.
He had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 20 rushing attempts, 5 targets for 14 yards, and he caught 4 of those.
It just looked like an alpha doing it, by the way.
And he had 25.4 fantasy points and a half PPR.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked really good. He was really fast, running some guys over.
OU product.
OU product?
Yep.
Seems like a lot of things come out of OU into the NFL.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's like a lot. It's Baker Mayfield,
Thank you
Hurts.
for noticing.
This guy, who was it? Josh Jacobs, was he from OU?
No, he's from
No,
Tulsa.
he's from Alabama.
Oh, he's from okay.
C.D. Lamb.
C.D. Lamb, was he from OU?
Oh, wow.
Yep, C.D. Lamb's OU guy.
I don't know anything about college football.
Yes, he's from OU.
Now that I've joined a dynasty league, I'm starting to keep a little bit more attention to it. Or
the center.
I'm just
for,
an NFL guy.
The Patrick Mahomes' center is a rookie OU guy.
Really?
The left tackle for Mahomes is a OU guy. Yeah. Anyway, well.
We'll start this as an OU podcast.
Yes. Why don't you just clip that out? Put that in there for all the OU people.
So Stevenson is only 28% owned across ESPN leagues. And
might have to put a waiver wire claim in for him.
And Damian Harris, he might not come back healthy this week, but there's a chance he will.
He'll be back at some point. But, I mean, if he misses another week and Stevenson goes off again, how do you go away from him?
I mean, they'll probably...
It's not like Damian Harris is just tearing the league up.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't like someone that you had to have.
He was been very average.
Very average. Yeah. So, I mean, if this dude keeps killing it, it wouldn't surprise me if he just gets to keep the job. So, I mean, anything could happen there. I have too many running backs in my team, so I'm not going to pick them up. I have 5 healthy running backs on my team now.
Wow, well done.
It's not good because I have 2 on my bench every week, and I can't get anyone to trade me for a wide receiver. So
they know your shenanigans, huh?
My shenanigans are good. I've got good shenanigans. I give out good trades.
Team Dusty.
It's not Team
trades.
Dusty. I mean, if you can see it there, it's Tom Brady, Najee Harris, A.J. Dillon, Devonta Smith.
A.J. Dillon, nice pickup. I mean, nice little circumstance for you.
Yeah, I've had him stashed all year. Devonta Smith, who's actually like really turning it on now.
He is coming on.
I'm getting much more excited about Devonta Smith. I'm still excited about Cadarius Tony. He's sitting in there.
You guys, I'm so done with him.
Nope. He's going to come back and he's going to kill it.
Please try to play him in our DFS lineup Thursday. So
I might.
No, don't.
He's against Tampa Bay. We'll see.
Don't
Elijah Moore. He's had what? 3
he's
different.
Also coming on.
He's coming on, and he's had 3 different quarterbacks throwing to him every single one.
This week, if you had to start someone for the same price, would you start Moore or Tony?
Who, me?
Yeah. You.
Moore.
You start
really?
Moore?
Easily? I just think he's a little better floor guy. Tony's floor is like 1.2.
But Tony's probably a better ceiling guy, right?
Yes, I would agree with that.
And I got Kyle Pitts, James Conner, Daniel Jones, and then it's just the defense and the kicker past that point. So it's not Team Dusty. I do need to get
glad you worked that. I'm glad you got that insecurity out.
It was a fluky loss.
You lost your cousin.
All right.
Who's the next guy you want to talk about there? Manager of Team Dusty.
Next guy, Cam Newton. He's back. He's back in Carolina, and he got a rushing touchdown, and he threw 1 pass, and it was a touchdown to Robbie Anderson.
He did.
So
first 2 times he touched the ball, both were touchdowns.
Yep, first 2 times he touched the ball, got touchdowns both times.
I need to put the fantasy app on my computer.
So how are you feeling about Cam Newton, Matt and Josiah?
I like Cam Newton a lot. I would try to pick him up because, I mean, he has the upside to be a great play. He's surrounded with playmakers, which he was not last year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in New England, he had no one to throw the ball to. Now he's sitting there with Christian McCaffrey in his backfield, DJ Moore. Maybe he even turns it around for Robbie Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Are they on a bye week this week?
No, not on a bye week.
Washington, yep. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic matchup.
I need a quarterback.
He is going up against Ron Rivera. Maybe he knows something about Cam Newton, right?
I'm doing the rotating quarterback in one of my leagues, and last week I landed on Matt Ryan, and that hurt.
Yeah.
It really did. It really did.
What was it? The last 4 weeks, Robbie Anderson's had a total of 27 yards. You know that?
Yeah.
In conjunction
16 of them came this week.
Yep.
In conjunction with Cam Newton, let's talk about some other waiver wire quarterbacks that may be out there that interest you guys. Heineke is finally.
Heineke's probably going to keep his job, too. I read recently that.
I would rather have Cam Newton over Heineke by a lot.
Okay. That's a good one to compare.
It looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick is not going to come back this season. So
who else you got? Any other good comparisons? One that was interesting to me is Justin Fields.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of tough. They both clearly have good upside. Justin Fields has been kind of turning it on the last couple of weeks. They're coming off a bye this week.
They got the Ravens.
They got the Ravens.
At home.
The Ravens have not been like the Ravens of old. It's not like you can't score on them.
No, they're not the most consistent team.
Right. So I think they're pretty close. I would have a hard time if I had to pick one up and they were both there. I would have a hard time making that decision.
Okay, I like that comparison. What about Jimmy Garoppolo?
You know what? I don't feel like it's a bad play. I constantly think that he's bad, but then I look at his fantasy stats, and they're not actually that bad. Someone dropped him.
What about Simeon?
Trevor Simeon, he's looked pretty good so far. I'm not like gonna.
I'm just kind of naming guys I think might
would
be
you rather have
on your wire.
Would you rather have Garoppolo or Cam Newton? Just like rest of season type of idea.
I think I'd rather have Garoppolo.
Really?
Yeah, he's got
Samuel. I mean, that's he gets 200 yards every week off Samuel.
Listen to the rest of season Garoppolo matchups. He's got Jacksonville, Minnesota, Seahawks, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Tennessee, Houston, and the Rams. I mean,
is that why you wanted to talk about Deebo Samuel this week? Because of that, he's a great trade for right now.
Oh yeah, I want Deebo Samuel. I want him.
Samuel's a stud.
I mean, he's just if that's his schedule for the rest of the year.
It seems like a season winner right there. That's an easy schedule. And, I mean, I feel like Cam's still going to be good, but I just like Garoppolo a little bit better.
You like Cam better than Simeon?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, who's next on your list?
All right, so speaking of Deebo, we're going to talk a little bit about Deebo. He's been absolutely killing it, and at least in my mind, was under the radar before the season started because I got no exposure.
He was under the radar to everybody. He was getting drafted in like the 8th, 9th, 10th round. I mean, he was a late guy.
While Ayuk was going in the 3rd.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, everyone was
everyone was all on
much
the
higher
Ayuk.
Or at least every draft I was in.
Yeah. Deebo, he averages around 10 targets a game. He just this week got 27.8 fantasy points with just 5 targets and 5 rushing attempts.
He's a monster. He's not on anybody's waiver wire, so
No, we're just talking about he's a stud, and he's blown my mind this year.
Do you think it's going to last? Right now, he's the number 2 scoring wide receiver in the league, only behind Cooper Kupp. Right?
I think he'll end up number 1.
I don't think he can pass Cooper Kupp at this point.
Well, that's true. Kupp
Kupp would have to have like 3 weeks of 0, and Deebo still be what he's been doing.
Well, then I think he can hold the 2 spot.
I feel like I don't. I feel like Deebo is just going to keep producing great.
Though I think Justin.
So would you rather have
Justin
Deebo
Jefferson's
or
a sneaky 2 spot?
Would you rather have Deebo or Justin Jefferson?
That's a tough one.
Deebo or Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
I'd probably rather.
I'd probably rather have Deebo.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a
Justin
tough
Jefferson and Dillon split enough to where I like Deebo more.
Yeah.
Yeah. He only had 5 targets this week, but they didn't. I mean, they didn't need him.
Deebo?
Yeah, Deebo.
Yeah, but he still had 30 fantasy points.
I know, but I like looking at the volume and seeing consistent volume. But he still, he got 27.8 fantasy points.
That's probably been his lowest volume week of the year, right?
Right, and what I was saying
still scored a lot.
is they didn't even really need him because they
won by so much.
They kicked the Rams' butt this
week. Does Jamar Chase have a chance to finish number 2?
He's number 4 right now. He's got a total of 146.
Would you rather have Deebo or Chase?
I'd rather have Deebo, I think.
I like Deebo. Plus, I mean, you guys did see that they lined him up in the backfield. We're running rushing.
Yeah, he had like 50 rushing yards and it's a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Deebo's a monster. There's not too many wide receivers I would take. Maybe just Kupp.
What about Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
He's even though he has more points than Deebo Samuel as far as fantasy wise.
That's because he hasn't had a bye yet.
That's because he had a 52-point week 1 or something.
It says Deebo hasn't had a bye yet.
Tyreek hasn't.
Tyreek hasn't had a bye yet.
And had a 50. Well, they both Deebo and Tyreek had amazing first weeks.
Yeah.
On a per game basis, Deebo has more than Tyreek by a little bit.
I don't know the way they're using him. I mean, they get used about the same, but I think Deebo's a little bit better than Tyreek Hill. And
really?
And talking about,
I think I like Tyreek.
The story is if you drafted Deebo Samuel, good for you.
If you drafted Tyreek, trade him for Deebo Samuel.
If somebody wants to trade you Deebo Samuel, do it.
I would do that. Also,
what about one more? What about Davonte Adams?
I think I like Deebo better. Where's Davonte Adams on here? He was injured a couple weeks, so this isn't really a fair comparison.
He had like a couple COVID weeks. Yeah,
I think he's also going down. I mean,
he just hasn't got a touchdown in a few weeks. His volume is there.
Yeah, his volume's there. He had 14 targets against Kansas City, only got 7 points. 11 targets against Seattle, and then got 11 points.
Yeah, he's probably got a big week coming.
In 2 matchups that we thought he would just have huge games.
Yeah.
He just didn't get the touchdowns.
He was a generated cash play by every algorithm. That
makes sense. It was an easy matchup. But anyways, Deebo is only 46 points under Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp's on a bye this week, and Deebo is not. So I feel like he could. I mean, whenever we see them come back and we see how involved Odell Beckham's actually going to be, we'll probably have a better.
But do you think Odell Beckham is going to be more involved than Robert Woods was?
I don't know that. I mean, can Cup?
I feel like
they're not going to cut into Cup targets. I mean, he's going
to take that Robert Woods spot.
He's going to get his 12 to 14. Yeah.
I feel like Odell Beckham. They'll try to get him more involved than Robert Woods because the reason why he went with the Rams is because
I don't either.
The reason why.
By the way, Robert Woods is a much better wide receiver than Odell Beckham Jr.
Robert Woods is a more consistent wide receiver.
I just think he's better.
I don't think that's Odell.
He's maybe not as explosive.
I don't think that's Odell Beckham's fault.
Is Odell Beckham Jr. still explosive?
Yes, he's still explosive.
He's more explosive than Robert
like
Woods.
I said, whenever.
Please clip me the explosive play by him that you've seen.
You can't have an explosive play when your quarterback.
Minus the Cowboys game last year.
You can't have an explosive year whenever the quarterback always overthrows you or doesn't even see you when you're wide open.
Okay, I'll be excited for the Odell Beckham Jr. highlight film coming up.
I feel like he's got something to prove, and I feel like McVay called him on the phone and said, "Hey, this is how we're going to use you. This is why we want you here."
So
he sold him on it,
I don't know if we're doing a buy low segment this week. Would that be a buy low guy for you?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I did. That's what I did last week, and
if I was in your league, you can have him.
He just traded for Odell Beckham last week.
I did, and I had to.
You traded.
Why did I not know that? God.
You traded. Who did you trade? Corey Davis and someone else.
Allen Robinson, two scrubs.
You saying very good things and being very defensive about him should have tipped me off that he's on your fantasy team. I apologize to everybody who could see that he's on his fantasy team.
I traded, but he wasn't on my fantasy team, and I
just traded for me.
And which makes you completely more defensive.
But the reason why I wanted to trade for him,
he's always loved
Odell Beckham Jr. is so good. He's on a bye week because if he wasn't, he would get played in our DFS lineup this week, right?
No, I wouldn't have played him because they said that he was going to be limited. I only played him in my dusty teams because that's all I had this week, other than Elijah Moore. But I feel like after the bye, he's going to come back and he's going to have a great week. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so
real quick, I got one more Debo question for you.
Okay.
Dynasty terms.
Okay.
You like Debo or Chase?
Probably Chase.
Really? He's only 1 year younger.
You know, Debo's only second year. Yeah,
I know, but the reason why I'd
Third
say Chase is because he gets like 11 to 15 targets a game, and Joe Burrow and him went to college together. They have a really nice chemistry built between each other. That's like a
yeah.
If he goes somewhere, the other guy probably wants to go with him type thing.
I could see the long-term concern for Debo being Trey Lance. What if he's a bust?
Yeah. Right. So as long as Joe Burrow is his quarterback, I mean, I like that better.
I like it.
But this year, you prefer Debo over Jamar Chase?
No, I'd try to go for. For me, I mean, they're pretty equal. I like them both a lot.
I asked you earlier. You said Debo.
Yeah, it's probably more because Ben has him in our league, and I know I can't get him.
I love how it hit me. It's just this season that it hit me that how much your fantasy team plays into my DFS team lineups.
I usually do. I mean, this is a weird year for fantasy. I usually do pretty good when it comes to DFS, and in fact, I
do good at DFS.
I got in 76th place in the Millionaire Maker, and then after that, it was just
you had that one
painful.
Who said you weren't good at DFS? That didn't
I'm just
come
saying,
out of my mouth.
Even though I know, but my point is that might be the case, but I still do good, even with that being the case, because I'm pretty good at fantasy football.
Yes, you just have a lot of passion for your players.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. All right, so next.
Odell Beckham Jr. sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's in a bad situation.
Sorry, I had
How
to get
surprised
that out.
would you be if he doesn't have a 10-point game the rest of the year?
He's the Carmelo Anthony of NFL football. I said it.
Kind of a good comp.
Clip that take right there. Carmelo Anthony.
I haven't heard that, but I like that.
Thank you. It's hot. It just came out. I was just new. That's.
He's like super talented,
that was
kind of a thug.
Invented 5 seconds ago. So.
We'll see. But all right. The last person that we got here on our list to talk about is Smith. And which Smith is this? Josiah, you wrote it down.
Back to OBJ.
Okay.
Coming out of LSU, I loved him. Like, he was amazing. Like, I had seen the film of him catching crazy. I knew he would be amazing. This version of OBJ, I'm not down with. This is the Carmelo version.
The Carmelo version. You know, we can make a clip out of this. The love and hate relationship with Odell Beckham or something.
We love him. I hate him. I'll speak for hate.
Like
we weren't even supposed to talk about Odell Beckham.
Back off.
Might as well make a clip out of it.
What's next?
Okay, so next is Devonta Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, Devonta Smith.
Much better than Odell Beckham.
In terms of rookie wide receivers.
Was that not the question?
How close is...
I could agree with that as of right now.
What was it? What did you say?
He's much better than Odell Beckham.
Yes, much better than Odell Beckham.
So he looked great last week.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of rookie
literally,
receivers.
it looked like Hurts is punting him the ball and he's catching it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. In terms of rookie receivers, how close is Smith to Chase at this point?
I would not close.
Not close?
No.
No, I mean, like, he's got a lot of talent, but Chase is very talented, but also
Are you wanting me to analyze them as like individual players or like their situation,
like fantasy
situations?
Yeah, just in terms of how they're going to finish in the fantasy season.
Cincinnati looks like they have a really good quarterback that throws really nice passes. Jalen Hurts looks like he punts the ball to Smith sometimes.
Actually, I don't sometimes, but last week
Sometimes.
Jalen Hurts looked really good.
I'm a Jalen
Hurts threw a
fan.
lot of great passes last week.
Another OU alumni, by the way, that you didn't mention earlier.
No, I did say Hurts.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said Baker and Hurts.
I love Hurts. Arm comparison.
Yeah, arm talent not as good as Joe Burrow's.
Right.
Sure.
So I think Chase
But
is in
there's
a
not
if
as
you
much-
switch them on teams, I'm gonna like Smith.
But there's not as much to spread the ball around in Philadelphia.
That's true.
Like Devonta Smith is the only guy, and
They
Dallas
drafted
Goedert
him
if he's
really
healthy.
high. They drafted both those guys.
Yeah.
really high. Both those guys were drafted really high.
Jamar Chase, like if some team just
I
says,
like
"Hey,
both of them.
if Cincinnati starts to go against defenses and defenses say, hey, we just want to shut Jamar Chase down," then they'll just throw the ball to T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and they'll have no problem.
Yeah.
But in Philadelphia, Smith is the only option.
If Devonta Smith was in like L.A. with Herbert, I feel like he would have 12 catches a game. Like I feel like he'd play the Keenan Allen role so well.
Smith?
Yeah, Devonta would. I think he'd just be a mass target guy for a guy with a great arm.
I think Smith is a great receiver.
I just think he can. I think he can route himself open every play. Like,
I really like
that's
Devonta
what
Smith.
I think Devonta Smith is just a better.
he's just a great
he's just
route
a really
runner.
good receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a very talented receiver.
They say he's the best route runner in like the history of college football.
I think you're the one that told me that
That what?
he was going into the draft for the NFL that you mentioned that Devonta Smith was one of the best route runners.
Yeah, I wanted him, and I drafted him in our dynasty league.
He
and
literally
then I ended
can,
up trading him for
he
DK
can route
Metcalf.
himself open, which is a talent not every wide receiver has.
Right.
I don't know that DK Metcalf has that talent, for example.
That was I think that was
DK Metcalf will just bully his way.
That's
into
what
it.
I'm saying, or just run right past him.
Yeah.
But he's not going to route himself open.
Right.
Well, I like Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I like Smith.
I love Smith.
Whenever
I mean,
you compared him to
Are you
Chase,
talking about? Wait, are we just talking about wide receivers on your team? Is that what the category this is?
No, this is the only one on this list that is on my team.
Oh, I was thinking Debo was on your team. So.
No, he's not. I'm trying to get him
He
on
said
my
he
team.
wants to.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. He doesn't like him as much because he's never going to
Just
be
think
on
how much
his
he's going to like him if he gets him on his team.
Oh yeah, I really like Devonta Smith.
I think he's great.
Whenever you compared him to Jamar Chase, my thinking went into just volume. And Devonta Smith's been killing. 20 points both the last 2 weeks, and then 10 targets. Not 10 targets, but only 6 targets each week. But he's done a lot with those 6 targets.
Okay, I'll ask up press. Do you think Devonta Smith is a Hall of Fame wide receiver?
I mean, he's a rookie. That's hard to say, but
Well,
I think
don't
he.
know.
I
Give
think
me
he,
your projection.
he has the.
I will say I think Jamar Chase is a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
I wouldn't say
that's
that
how
either.
talented I think Jamar Chase is.
I think talent-wise, Devonta Smith is equal to Jamar Chase.
They're different, but
They're different receivers, yes.
I
But
like
I think
them both.
Devonta Smith could just last longer. When you get a receiver who can run routes well like that, they last longer in the NFL.
Yeah. No, he's good. I mean, he's going to be a pro he's Marvin Harrison. He'll be a pro for
Yeah,
like 12
exactly,
years.
right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're both great. I think Chase might be special. I think Smith is special. It's tough. Okay.
It's tough. It's a tough
There,
comparison.
I don't think I've got anything figured out.
They're both
really
both great. That's why we're
I
comparing
figured
them.
that out. They're
Yep.
both really good.
They're both good.
All right. Well, I think that's the last.
What about Waddle?
Waddle?
Throwing them in. Waddle's the other high draft pick out of these three.
I like throwing in Waddle here. What's been really confusing to Waddle about me
I thought he was the burner, right?
Yeah, like the whole thing about
He ran
him.
like a 4.29 at the combine.
Yeah, and the whole thing with him was like in college, his like average yard of completion was like 49 yards.
So if we can agree that if Waddle played for the Chargers, he wouldn't be getting 9 catches for 27 yards or whatever he's getting like in Miami.
Maybe Miami is just using him wrong.
I think Tua is terrible, so that's one thing.
Miami is using Jalen Waddle completely opposite of how he played in college.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the injury?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's returning punts though, right?
He still
I think
seems
so.
fast.
Yeah, he's still fast. He gets an average like 10 targets a week.
But have
Waddle
we
does.
seen him burning down the sideline like we have Jefferson?
I don't even know if he's caught a
Chase?
long pass the whole year.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any highlights from Waddle.
And in Alabama, that's all he did.
Yeah.
All he did was catch 50-yard bombs.
He would have won the Heisman, I think, if he didn't get hurt the year that
You think he would have beat out Smith?
He's just so electric in college. I'm just waiting for that Waddle. Where is that Waddle?
Oh, man, I don't know.
I don't know. The most yards he's gotten in 1 week
at
is
the beginning
83.
of the year,
right?
When I saw him,
12 catches.
On like 12 catches, 14 targets.
At the beginning of the year, when I saw Waddle being like a possession guy, I thought he had potential to be great because if he could be the possession guy and downfield guy, but he's never turned into the downfield guy.
Do we think it's injury? Do you think he's?
I think it's more Tua, but
he doesn't seem injured. I think it's just the Miami scheme is not using him that way.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good to talk about those three.
Yeah.
I see one is Hall of Fame for sure,
and that's Chase.
And I think Smith is knocking on that door. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna do our waiver wire segment where we don't have as many as we normally do.
Stevenson was a waiver wire.
Stevenson, we talked about him earlier. If he's on your waiver wire, he's a good target. Of course, that could be a limited pickup because Damian Harris could come back, take his job back. We'll see what happens there.
Steven is so talented that even if you put him on your bench and have to bury him for a little bit, that if Harris gets nicked up again, I mean, he's just a really good running back.
Yeah.
He is a great running back.
And I believe ESPN said – actually, I was surprised by this number. Dillon is only 58% owned across ESPN leagues.
Wow, that's a great waiver wire pickup.
Wire pickup, yep, that's number one if you got that. And then
AJ Dillon's the number one waiver wire pickup.
Yeah, AJ Dillon is for sure available. The number one waiver wire pickup. He's built like Derrick Henry, so if you're looking for a Derrick Henry, there it is, and he might be available in your league. Also, one that we talk about every single week, but no one seems to care about him, is Rashad Bateman. He's still only 31% owned. This past week, he got 8 targets again for 11 points and 80 yards.
I'm starting to become a Bateman believer.
Yeah.
He looks good, man.
He looks very, very good.
He just hasn't had a big enough game for like people who don't watch closely to care enough, but he has a lot of promise.
He hasn't had a big enough game for people to start FOMOing into him.
Exactly, but
the talent's there, the opportunity's there.
And the opportunity's there, and it's going to come at some point.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't want to do is let that happen while he's on your waiver wire because then you got to fight for him the next week.
Then you got to pay more for him. Or
just so you know, I'm picking up A.J. Dillon.
Nice.
That's a good move.
As we speak.
Another one that we've talked about. Oh, you got more?
I was just going to say that's exactly why you should pick up Bateman. Just put him on your bench. You don't got to start him right now.
Right.
Just put him on your bench because at some point he's going to blow up and you're going to be happy that you got him.
Yeah, you're going to be glad that you're the dude that has the bench that's doing really well.
I like Bateman. I did not believe in Bateman at first. I thought he got way too overdrafted.
Really? Going into the draft, I thought he was
not a big Bateman.
I liked him better than Waddle.
Likes him better than Waddle. He was currently on IR whenever the draft was happening.
Well, I mean during the NFL draft when he wasn't. He just got hurt during preseason. But going into the NFL draft, I liked Bateman better than Waddle. And then he went to Baltimore, and a lot of people thought it was a bad landing spot. But
you like Bateman? Oh wow! Okay.
Just in terms of talent, I think Bateman's great.
I didn't realize Cuz was breaking down Minnesota game film. That's on.
Yeah, I've watched.
I like it. We're gonna have to do some draft shows, right?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Break down some prospects.
When that time comes, you better believe I'm watching all that stuff.
And then another guy we've talked about quite a lot. He kind of had a dud week before going into a bye, but don't let that be the game that you use to describe this player. It is Cadarius Tony. Again, dropped 14%. This is like a theme for him. He goes up 15% and then goes down 15% on ownership across ESPN leagues. Currently sitting at 42% owned. His name is Cadarius Tony, and he's going to be a stud.
I don't know what to think about this guy. He might be a stud, but he had that game where, you know the game we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
The good game.
I watched that game. I was like, he's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's one really good game.
Yeah, well, he had
in week 4,
he looked like a stud.
In week 4, he had this is the week that I picked him up before this week. I was like, this guy looks good because I watched some film on him. He got 9 targets for 10 points.
I like that you guys are in some film.
And then the big game, 13 targets, 10 receptions, 189 yards for 24.6 points.
He looked like the best player in the NFL, though.
Yeah, and then week 6.
Don't you want that potential on your team?
So why can't he look kind of like that? the other weeks.
The next week,
I don't need that every week. That's amazing.
Right.
But why can't he look even kind of like that?
Well, week 6,
it was really
he got
only
injured.
1 week where he let you down.
Yeah.
Last week?
Week 6.
Last week he was on bye.
Okay.
Week 6, he went into the game, was getting all the focus, got injured, left early. Before he even left early, he scored 5 points. This was in the first quarter. And then they had a bye. And then week 8, it wasn't that great. Week 9 was super fluky, 1 target for 9 yards.
The week we played him.
The week we played him, of course. But this week he's coming back after a bye. They're playing Tampa Bay. I feel like he's gonna be more closely. It's going to be more likely that he has at least an averagely good week than it is 1 target from 9 yards.
I agree with you too. I mean, like I said, it's only been 1 week where he's really let you down.
I think there's been a couple weeks.
Well, one time technically because he left at the very beginning of the first quarter.
Well, he had 5. No, then he said there was another game that it was, and then
he missed a game due to injury.
Yep,
he missed a week due to injury.
There was a bye, and then he playing Kansas City was the week that he let us down.
Yep.
He had 1.9.
Right.
No, that week he had 5 targets for 5 points, and then he played the Raiders and only got 1 target for 9 yards.
Okay, so those are 2 games.
So 2 games.
I don't want to argue about this. I don't mean to be getting specific. I'm not as big a Tony fan. I just don't see the consistency in it. He may be talented. It must be the offense because, like I said, that one game he literally looked like the best receiver in the NFL to me.
Yeah.
So. I would be willing to say that a lot of it can be Daniel Jones. I don't think he's great.
It must be.
I think you guys like Daniel Jones better than I do, but
I like Daniel Jones because he's like Hurts. He looks terrible, but he gets fantasy points in daily fantasy.
Yeah. So they're playing Tampa Bay this week. That's Tom Brady against Daniel Jones, and that's Cadarius Tony against Tampa Bay. So I mean, I feel like it's going to be an easy week.
They're probably going to need to throw the ball, right?
They're going to need to throw the ball a lot.
They're going to need to throw the ball to playmakers.
Oh, that's another stat I didn't talk about. Whenever in the Raiders game, Daniel Jones only threw 20 times.
Oh, okay.
So Kadarius Tony got one out of the 20. But
was Daniel Jones the game that he had 100? The quarterback he had 189 with, or was that the backup?
That was I can't remember if that was Daniel Jones playing that week. That was week 5. I'm going to pull it up because I'm very curious if that is. I remember. I can't remember who was throwing at that time. Yeah. Actually, Daniel Jones didn't miss any time. He got
Jones.
He didn't miss any time. So it was Daniel Jones.
Got hurt.
He got injured and then left early.
The week
some
I played.
other guy.
Yeah, Jones was healthy that week.
But he's played every week.
Okay.
Okay, Josiah, you got any more waiver wire pickups?
The only other one that I feel like we should talk about is Cam Newton. I feel like he is a worthy waiver wire guy if you're in any sort of deep quarterback league because he has the upside to be a top 10 quarterback the rest of the year.
Yeah, he's got something to prove. He's back in
option.
Carolina. Yeah, 12%
even if you don't need to start him this week, I would want to throw him on my bench just in case. And if you do have to start him this week, you could do a lot worse than Cam Newton.
Right. Apparently, he's really good at throwing touchdowns because the one time he threw the ball, he threw a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the thing with Cam Newton is he just needs good playmakers around him, and he has that now.
Yeah.
When he was in New England, he didn't have that.
No.
Who did he throw to last year? Jacoby Myers and
who just recently this week got his first
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep. But there was no one else.
Nope.
Now they got good playmakers around him, and that's what he needs.
Also, he changed his hairstyle, so I feel like that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe it was that bad hairstyle.
It's no longer this that we're seeing on the screen.
That's the New England hairstyle. That's why he was so bad.
That's probably why it was like a Samson scenario. As soon as except for his opposite. As soon as he got rid of the hair, his skills came back. All right, and then what else you got to say?
That's the only other one I had. I mean, I think if you're looking for a quarterback, it's also worth considering Justin Fields. I think he has, similar to Cam Newton, he has upside to be very good.
Yeah. I see here you got Gibson and DJ Moore sitting here. Is there something you wanted to say about them?
Those are like my buy low / sell high guys.
Oh, whoops. All right, here we go. Buy low, sell high. This is our buy low, sell high segment. Mine's going to be very, very similar to last time we talked about this. All right, Josiah. What is your buy low?
Can I do a sell low?
Sell low?
Beckham Jr.
No one likes to sell low. All right.
My buy low now is DJ Moore.
Okay.
That's it. Your buy low?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
He's been struggling lately.
He has. He started off strong, and it's been a pretty rough few weeks.
Ultra talented, and his problem was Sam Darnold.
Yes.
That was his only problem.
Everyone's problem with Sam Darnold.
If you're ever associated with Sam Darnold, it's going to be a problem.
I like that a lot because he started off strong. Like,
he did.
He guaranteed at least 12 points.
I watched some games. He just looked very explosive, very good running his routes. I mean, he's open almost all the time.
Yeah.
He's clearly the best receiver on the team.
Why is the Bucks Giants the Monday night game? Sorry.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Isn't this the Giants like third night?
This is like their third Monday night game. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Sorry.
And then I would say, do you have another buy low?
That's my only buy low. Do you have one?
I do have one, but it's similar to last week. But I really like the DJ Moore buy low, especially with Cam coming in. It can only go up from here.
Right.
Especially since it started off strong, we were able to see what he's capable of when he gets the opportunity.
He clearly has talent.
So I feel like that's a good one. My buy low is still Odell Beckham. And you know what? There's a clip that we're going to clip earlier that you can watch where it shows me explaining it. But I feel like you can literally get Odell Beckham for scrubs. Like, send 2 scrubs to someone, you get Odell Beckham, they'll be excited about that because that's what I did.
Oh, I almost know you can get him for scrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
So this is the greatest buy low.
My sell low guy.
This is the greatest. He's your buy low and he's your sell low.
There shouldn't be a segment that exists that's called sell low.
I like it. That's my
No.
own
Sell low means drop.
Yeah, sell low means go pick up Phillip Rivers and try to trade him. That's what you should do.
Well, let's see how low you really want to sell him. I'm going to list some guys kind of low on the rankings, and you tell me
Sounds
if you'd
good.
rather
Let's
have
do
them
it.
or
Yeah,
Beckham.
this is gonna be easy for me.
All right.
This should be fun.
I'm going to start with Michael Gallup.
I'll take Gallup.
I'll probably take Odell Beckham on that
Yeah,
one.
of course you will.
Jarvis Landry.
Landry.
Jared, what do you think?
Landry was in the same position he has been, and he scored like no points last week. Actually, Odell Beckham and Landry were very close in fantasy points last week.
Okay.
You're probably going to say Beckham on all these.
It's gonna
We'll
be
see.
fun. This
I'm
is
more
gonna be
interested
fun.
to see how low Matt wants to go on.
Okay.
All right. How about Van Jefferson?
Van Jefferson.
Really?
They're on the same team.
So Van Jefferson's the number 2 there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Last week he was.
He actually does things like score touchdowns and catch long passes. So that's kind of an advantage.
It's going to be fun
fantasy
whenever
football.
Odell Beckham actually gets a pass that's catchable.
I swear to God.
This one might be bittersweet, but Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I'd definitely take Ayuk.
Really?
Yes.
He's been so bad all year.
So he's still better than Odell Beckham Jr.
We'll see.
Might be. What about Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley. Come on. Stop.
Let me look up Cole Beasley's
Beasley
stats.
has pretty.
Stop.
His upside's so bad that I don't love him. But
If you say Odell Beckham Jr.,
Let me look at
your
the
ability
stats.
to help me pick
Maybe the
DFS
stats will
lineups.
help you
Beasley hasn't
understand
been
where I'm
very
coming
good
from.
lately.
He picks my
guess
DFS
what?
lineups
This
that
past
I'm
week-
financially invested in.
Hey, guess. Here's a question for you. Who do you think scored more fantasy points last week? Cole Beasley or Odell Beckham?
Probably Beckham.
You're right.
And do you know how many he had? Like 3.
He had 5. How many games has he had more than Beasley this year?
How many more games has Odell Beckham had?
No, that he scored more points than Beasley this year.
This is pretty easy. Last week, Beasley had 7 points, so not too hard. Beasley had 2 good weeks, a 16 and 18, and then he followed, and before that, it was a 1, a 2.6, a 5.6.
Can I say I don't want either of them on my team?
Yes, you can, but
You probably have them both rostered on Team
No, I don't.
Dusty, right?
I don't have Beasley. I've never been.
Okay, hold on, a
that
couple
excited
more.
about
Let's
Beasley.
Beasley's
find out.
definitely finding his way in the flex spot. on
that's
Team
all right. You like
Dusty.
Beasley better. I can understand it. What about Tim Patrick?
I'm going to take Tim Patrick. He actually
No.
scores touchdown catches long passes. Those
All
Tim
right.
Patrick started out all right.
Tyler Boyd?
I might take Odell Beckham. I'm not. Boyd is falling
He
off
seems
a
like
cliff.
he's disappeared.
Yeah.
What about Allen Robinson?
Oh. Speaking of, it's amazing what you can get Allen Robinson in DFS this week for. It's like 4,600.
Yeah,
Just because he's been so bad.
he's
He was
very
like
bad.
a 7,800 receiver last year.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
like
crazy.
week to week.
Yeah.
He has no interest. I've watched a lot of their games.
But I'm still taking Robinson.
You're
Did I
still taking
say
Robinson.
that? Okay.
Maybe he'll change it around because honestly, I've watched a lot of Robinson all year, and he just doesn't even try. He just goes out and jogs through his routes.
Why would you?
But maybe if Field starts to play well, he'll kind of change his opinion and start to play.
Matt,
I
who do you
don't
think scored more fantasy points last week, Allen Robinson or Odell Beckham?
Beckham.
That's right, because Robinson was on a bye.
Which, by the way, makes Beckham the best fantasy receiver ever. If you guys aren't convinced yet, we'll get there.
I'm gonna look like a genius in the last 4 weeks of Super Bowl.
The
NFL.
What about AJ Green?
Do you think Odell Beckham ever cracks your starting lineup on your fantasy team?
He started him last week.
Oh,
I
geez.
started him last week. We'll see. I'm gonna give him a lot of confidence this next week. If he doesn't do great, it'll probably be on a week-to-week basis.
Well, he's on a bye, right?
Yeah, he's on a bye this week, so I can't play him.
He'll do about as well as he usually does.
He'll score 2.8 less points this week than he did.
But at least it won't be in your lineup.
Yeah.
Okay, enough Beckham talk.
All right.
So, that was my buy low. So, sell high.
My sell high.
Oh, wait, you didn't have a buy.
I had to sell low, remember?
That's right. It was okay. All right. So, sell high. Josiah, go.
All right. My sell high this week is super easy because I've been pretty down on him all year, and he had a pretty good game this week. So here's your chance.
I'm going to interrupt because can Christian McCaffrey be a buy low guy?
Sure.
Meaning, I think this might. I don't know. You might, if you're ever going to get him traded for, this would be the year.
Yeah,
right?
I think he's a decent buy low.
Sorry to interrupt there. I just want to be able to contribute a buy low guy.
Buy low contributed.
So you said if you want to buy low on McCaffrey if that opportunity
exists in your trade world.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, it probably does.
Yeah.
I think there's some people who think McCaffrey is injury prone and no good. They might want to trade him.
He could help you win a Super Bowl.
He could. He very well could.
All right,
Sorry,
sell high guy.
I interrupted Cuz there. Get Cuz back on track.
But yeah, my sell high is Antonio Gibson. I think he is pretty washed this year. He is injured, playing through an injury all year. Basically announced that he is going to play through an injury all year. And he looks it because if you watch him, he's slow.
Nothing he does makes me think. I mean, he got 2 touchdowns, but he literally fell in the end zone.
Right. He got his 2 touchdowns. He had a lot of fantasy points. Sell it to someone while you can because this is going to be your last chance to do it.
I think that's a great sell high.
Yep.
Your last chance to do it.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't really have a good one. My only sell high would be Trevor Siemian, if that's even an option for you.
I don't know that's a
sell
option.
high?
Or sell.
If anybody wants him, give him up.
Nobody wants Trevor Siemian.
If you're in our league, I could probably get something for him.
That's terrible.
What do you think you can get for Trevor Siemian?
I don't know, 2 weeks in a row, at least 20
Trevor
points.
Siemian's a terrible.
Give me some ideas of what you think you can get for
terrible
Trevor Siemian.
sell high guy.
If someone doesn't have his second quarterback, I can at least get some medium player from him, I think, for Trevor Siemian.
Like who? I want to know.
Brandon Ayuk.
You would rather have Brandon Ayuk?
I would than Trevor Siemian.
If I have
Trevor Siemian's available in like 99.9%.
Yeah, I did. I preface it wasn't a good one.
Well, why don't you trade Siemian for Ayuk then? He would probably do that.
I would.
I might do that.
Ayuk will just probably sit your bench all year. But
by the way, should we just say that Jonathan Taylor remains the best?
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
Best running
He's
back.
an absolute beast.
He is amazing.
He's a stud.
No,
I'm looking
I don't
for
really
a
have
sell high guy here.
A solid sell high guy. I was looking a lot today, and I was like,
I'm gonna go with Colt McCoy. Sorry.
Sell high.
I'm making fun of his face.
I'm gonna go with Phillip Rivers.
Colt McCoy is a good comparison.
I would sell high on Tim Tebow.
I'm gonna throw Peyton Manning in on that
You have to
too.
admit, Colt McCoy is a perfect comparison to Siemian, right? Like,
yes, I said it wasn't a good
At
one.
least Siemian
I was
had a
just
good
trying to
week.
contribute.
I think Colt McCoy's fair compared to Siemian.
I'm running out of those. The brain is not working in that
I
segment
think
for me
Mike
anymore.
Evans could be a sell high guy.
Really?
Mike Evans? No.
I like Mike Evans.
I like Mike Evans a lot.
I'm just trying to come up with one. I like Godwin better than Evans moving forward.
I can
I do
see
too.
that. Yeah.
And with
But I still think
when
Evans is
Antonio
gonna have
Brown
some big
gets
weeks.
back. Yeah, I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm just looking for a guy that somebody would consider.
He's had a lot of good weeks in a row. You might be able to get some.
What about James Conner? Is he a sell high guy?
I don't know if he's a sell high guy. He had an average week.
What about Ezekiel Elliott?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I don't see the rushing game driving them through the rest of the season to the playoffs. I think they're going to CeeDee Lamb and Cooper and Schultz and those guys are going to be.
But I think there's going to be a lot of touchdown.
But he did fall. He fell in the end zone twice too.
There's going to be a lot of touchdown opportunities on that team, though.
I agree. So I was literally just searching for sell high guys.
Yeah, Zeke kind of had a fluky week. 14 rushing attempts, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I bet he has more weeks. I bet he has more weeks like that because just the team that he's on, like they're gonna be in those positions a lot.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Not a big Zeke guy, but that's fair. I think he will score a lot of touchdowns.
All right. Well, any last words, Josiah and Matt?
This was fun again.
It was a good time.
Good time.
Win another week of fantasy
you guys
football
keep
this
helping
week.
me. I keep adding players during the show when we do it. So.
Yeah.
I added Herbert a few weeks ago. I just added Stevenson in a league, A.J. Dillon in one league.
Everyone had A.J. Dillon.
Well, I mean, I'm claiming that on waivers. We'll see how I do.
I think I have Dillon in 1 or 2 leagues.
Yeah.
I have him in almost all of them. All the ones that I care about, at least. Well, that pretty much wraps up the Start Sit Show. Guys, if you are watching and you made it to the end, please hit that subscribe button and turn your post notifications on. We were 3 short of 100 last week. We asked you guys to help us out and get there. You didn't do it.
Yeah, you tried.
But you can help us get it this week.
We did get closer.
We got close.
I'm proud of the effort.
So if you haven't hit that sub button, hit that sub button. We're going to keep pumping out content every week. We got a Start Shit Show and a DFS show every week during the entire NFL season.
We'll probably be doing DFS Friday, right?
Probably Friday. We still got to figure out some details. Yeah, semantics.
When you have
stuff.
4 people doing a show, it makes it tough.
Yeah, especially whenever no one makes any money off of it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but we're pushing ourselves into that direction. But thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next week.